It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. The perfect draft system is humming away underneath the tripod here and my camera. You can probably see it in the mirror. I'm really pleased that we have the perfect draft system kind of humming away and working with a Pavel quack on. But I'm not here today to talk about my perfect draft that I haven't used for 6 months. I'm here today to talk about a beer that Trav has sent us from Australia. Thank you very much, Trav, for sending this beer. If it wasn't for Trav and the wonderful Mick in Australia, of course, then I would never be trying these incredible Australian craft beers and jerkies and sausage and everything else that gets sent my way from Australia. It's a kind of million miles from where I live, really, and it's completely possible to get. But to get a bag of cheese twisties and some Samboy crisps and some amazing craft beers and some amazing kind of what I think are kind of general regional brewery lagers. They're great to review too. But today we have a beer from Australia called Beerfarm Milk Stout. Described as rich, roasty and smooth, it's 5.5% ABV in a 375 milliliter can. Established for the future, it says here on the side of the can. There's a look at it. Beerfarm. What do we know about Beerfarm? I mean, I've never really looked at this brewery before. From the Margaret River region of Australia. Without further ado, let's get the beer out into a glass and see what we get. Little bit of smoke on the can opening. Beer in the glass. Gonna go with a bit of a rigorous pour on this because, well, no, gonna slow it down. Only because I was thinking, being a lactosey milk stout, sometimes they're kind of nitro beers and you can just throw them in. But I didn't want a massive overflow of beer everywhere, so we slowed it down. I just had a piece of that wonderful steak jerky that Trav sent in between beer reviews. I just finished reviewing the Deep Cut Pilsner, actually. And I thought I need something to eat, so I went and got some of the steak jerky from Australia. Just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing stuff. Even my wife likes it. Even Mel's like, oh my God, this is great steak. Dried steak. So I just had some steak in between reviews. Jet black beer in the glass, one finger, tan coloured head, good levels of carbonation rolling up the glass. It looks fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Let's get the aroma. Yes, this is good. This is good stout. I can tell it's good stout just by the aroma. Roasty, toasty, nutty, coffee, bitter dark chocolate aromas, but milky. There's some kind of milk, kind of stout lactosey stuff going on here too. A little bit hoppy. A little bit of vanilla, a little bit of coconut. Oh, gonna dive in. Smells great. Cheers, everybody. Oh. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a beer. Raisin, definitely sultanas, raisin up front. Peppery, spicy, bitter, dark chocolate, dark coffee, roasty, toasty, just incredible. Absolutely incredible beer. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Oh. There's a nice level of carbonation to the beer too. As soon as you put the beer in the mouth, you're not only greeted by maybe a touch of ginger or something like that, kind of like spicy pepperiness, but you're greeted by a big kind of like hiss and fizz of carbonation. And I mean that with the greatest of respects, because the beer then gets pushed round the inside of the mouth. The carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth, releases more of that flavour. You've got taste buds on the top of your tongue, the bottom of your tongue, the inside of your cheeks, top of your mouth, back of the throat. Your taste buds probably go down as far as your Adam's apple. So you're tasting beer all the way. Why wine people spit wine out, for me, is marketing rubbish when a wine sommelier or whatever spits wine out, because you've got taste buds down the back of the throat. If you can get that wine down to your Adam's apple and then spit it back out, well, yeah, I'll probably marry you in an instant. But regardless to that, where did that come from? There's taste buds everywhere. Spiciness, pepperiness, chocolate, coffee, caramel flavours coming through. And they're all being kind of helped along by that carbonation, pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth. It really is a terrific beer, this. Absolutely terrific. Right. Beerfarm is built on an old dairy farm in WA. Now, I'm not from Australia, so WA. Hang on. WA. It can't be Washington, because that's in America. I don't know. Comment in the comments box. WA. WA's world famous Margaret River region. We can still see the herringbone milking parlour on our way into our bar. You see, it was always in our future to brew a milk stout. This seasonal release combines velvety milk sweetness with well-rounded coffee, cocoa flavours from rich roasted malts. Cheers. Now, this is terrific beer. This is how a milk stout should be brewed. Now, very quickly before I rate this beer, in fact, let me rate the beer, and if you want to hear the story, you can hang around for the story. Rating for this beer, it's terrific. It's a top quality milk stout. Bitterness, breadiness, chocolatiness, everything you want from a milk stout. Lactose, creaminess, great mouthfeel, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 beer from Real Ale Craft Beer. Now for my story. You can stay or you can leave. You've had your rating, haven't you? I am debating whether to release a beer. Now, the beer was kindly, very, very kindly sent to me by Rita's Pantry, Calvin Phillips. And I really appreciate him sending me the beers. But yesterday, I think I might have overstepped the mark. I think I might have overstepped the mark in one of the beers that he sent me, saying, you know, I'd rather drink a cup of tea. The thumbnail of the video is this, I'm fed up of drinking this CRAP. And it's all to do with overly sweet stouts. Now, in the UK, there's a fashion, well, not a fashion, but a trend at the moment to produce overly sweet stouts. Like if you put your face in a box of Cadbury's Caramel or Galaxy or, you know, overly sweet stout. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. And I went a bit mad. I did a bit of a rant. But then, since I did the rant, I've been thinking, I mean, Calvin Phillips, hard-earned cash, sent me the beer out of his own pocket, and there's me like absolutely lambasting it. And I've felt guilty ever since. And I felt that guilty that I'm not sure if I'm ever going to release the video. So if Calvin Phillips ever watches this milk stout video from Beerfarm, first of all, my apologies for probably overdoing it a little bit. It's not for me. Maybe I should just say it's not for me. But then again, my passion shines through, and my passion shines through because I don't like these overly sweet. I don't think a beer should be overly sweet, like sweetness and all that. Everything else is going into it. I think a beer should be very much like this, with there's lots of bitterness and breadiness and roasty, toasty flavours. That's what I expect from a stout. So I'm glad then that there are parts of the world that are still brewing really good milk stouts with some bitterness to them. So 10 out of 10 for the Beerfarm milk stout. It's a great beer. It really is. Balanced, mouthfeel, roasty, toasty, plum, fig, prune, so much going on. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!